Markets on Air, with a focus on Australia, a hub for the Asia-Pacific region. This is one of the most successful enterprises in Western Australia, the Perth Mint. Here it's all about precious metals. Founded as a colonial branch of London's Royal Mint, it was under British jurisdiction until 1970. Now it's run by the Western Australian government. It has turned €6 billion worth of gold into coins and ingots. And the Mint's best customers are the Germans. More than 5 million coins have been exported from Perth to Germany. Most of the gold processed here comes from Australia. The continent is the world's second biggest gold producer, after China. Perth, the capital of Western Australia, has a population of 2 million. In November, it hosted the first Asia-Pacific Regional Conference of German business in Australia. The bilateral event attracted 1,000 participants. Economic cooperation between Germany and Australia is generally good. Some 700 German companies have a branch office or subsidiary down under. They include big names like Siemens, Bayer and Volkswagen. And overall, Germany is one of Australia's main trading partners. In 2016, German companies exported goods worth nearly €9 billion to Australia. In return, Australia exported goods and services worth €2.1 billion to Germany.
The relationship is on a good footing. It can also get much better, and we can work together more closely. It will make a big difference when we get our free trade agreement. Negotiations are due to start soon between the EU and Australia. That will be a huge step.
German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier, who was a guest at the conference in Perth, also emphasized the potential for closer cooperation.
It's a signal to us Europeans to show our presence here. This is a time in which the architecture of the world is changing, including here, in this southeastern region.
The message from Perth for German companies is that Australia is not only an important place to do business, but also that it's strongly networked in the Asia-Pacific region.
Economic growth record. The Australian economy has been recession-free for 26 years. The continuous growth has sometimes been slow, sometimes rapid. Last year saw GDP rise nearly 2.5%. A whole generation of young Australians has never experienced economic crisis firsthand. The country is rich in minerals. It exports iron ore, oil and coal, mainly to China. And as commodity prices begin to rise again, Australia is hoping for higher revenues. And a record order for Airbus. The European aircraft maker landed the biggest single order in its history, with the purchase of 430 planes by the U.S. investor Indigo Partners. The order involves A320 and A321 neo narrow-body airliners. They're slated for use by 4 carriers in which Indigo Partners holds stakes. The order has a list price worth €42 billion.
€70 billion. That's how much German carmaker Volkswagen plans to invest in the future. Much of the money is slated for electromobility. VW intends to be the world's biggest manufacturer of electric vehicles by 2025. By then, the carmaker says it will introduce 80 new electric models, along with massive investments in the technology.
The automobile is being reinvented. We're investing the necessary funds in a targeted way. By the end of 2022, we will put €34 billion into electromobility development and into driverless cars.
The main focus of this activity is in China. There, zero-emission vehicles are to represent 10% of new car sales in 2019. To be players in that leading market, car makers have to deliver, and VW seems to be gearing up to do so. It's earmarked a third of its electric vehicle investment for China alone.
And now a look at Schleswig-Holstein, Germany's northernmost state. Its population of 2.8 million includes many Danes. The capital Kiel on the Baltic has 246,000 residents, making it the largest city in the state. A major business sector is the maritime economy. More than 1,800 companies employing 42,000 people bring in revenues of 9.2 billion euros annually. Shipbuilding plays the largest role with specialized shipyards and suppliers. ThyssenKrupp Marine Systems, for example, builds submarines for customers around the world. The Nobis Krug and Lürsen shipyards are internationally known for their luxury mega yachts, such as Nobis Krug Sailing Yacht A, made for a Russian billionaire. Transport with cruise ships and ferries is also important, along with the growing segments of offshore and underwater technologies and marine research. Schleswig-Holstein is also home to 2/3 of the entire German fishing fleet. Tourism plays a greater role in the economy of Schleswig-Holstein than in most other German states. Every year, the Kiel Week sailing event attracts millions of spectators. But the most popular vacation destinations are the North Frisian Islands, especially the largest one, Sylt. The island, with its reputation as a playground for the well-heeled, attracts mainly German visitors. And that was Markets on Air.